Hello, everybody. It's Connie Stewart with SimplySimpleStamping.com. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. It's time for another Tuesday tip video. So my master class that I've been teaching during the month of May 2022 has been about how to give the gifts of a gift card or cash. It's that season, right? With weddings and Mother's Day and Father's Day and all these really great occasions. Today, I want to teach you a really fun idea that kind of came into my head. I had a little fun with it. So what we're going to create is this. You know, from the outside, it just looks like a card that we would create just any day, right? But let me show you what happens when you open it. We get a pop-up, a pop-out. My message gets to pop out. Oh, what's hiding here? Yep, we got a little gift card or some cash that you could put there in that pocket. What a cute card. And guess what? It's easy. We love that. Let me show you how we're going to create this really amazing gift card or money holder. We're going to create this card today, but stick around. I've got a second card that I want to share with you. So we're going to create this one, and we are doing that with the Flowering Tulip stamp set. Now, this also comes with a set of dies. You could order the set of dies. I'm just going to stick to the stamp set today for my card, and I'm going to be using the Designer Series paper that matches this Flowering Tulip stamp set. But guys, you could use just about any Designer Series paper you wanted. So my Designer Series paper is the Flowering Fields. It is cut 5 inches by 12 inches. The card base is going to be in Highland Heather, and that is a 5.5 by 8.5. I have scored it at 4 1/4. So that's going to create, as I said, just our basic A2 fold card. On top of that, we're going to add some Blackberry Bliss. I love this color, and I know you guys do too. This is a 4 by 5.5, or I'm sorry, 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece. On top of that, we'll add some basic white, 3 3/4 by 5. Guys, we're going to need some more basic white. This is for the inside of the card. So I've got 2 pieces here, and these are cut 4 by 5 1/4. So just be aware when you're working this piece, you're going to have one that is a little bit smaller. So you might be, it might help you to go ahead and put those together so that you don't get them mixed up. So let's go ahead and take these and set those off to the side. For my pop-up on the inside, this is actually, if you're familiar with flashcards that I created many years ago, this is a flashcard. Highland Heather, 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. My layering piece on top is 2.5 by 4. That's what we're going to use for the pop-out. Last thing we're going to need is a little bit of ribbon, and I'm going to use the Evening Evergreen Open Weave. Just thought it looked really pretty, and that big burst of that evening evergreen up against those colors was stunning. My friends, I've always got a free download for you. So if you missed any of those measurements, don't worry. They are right here in your download. You can find that at SimplySimpleStamping.com, or just look down there in that YouTube description. There is a direct link to today's download for you, because this first step is going to need a little bit of drying time. So we're going to start with that so we have time to dry. I'm going to bring in my water painters. Have you guys seen these? These are such a great way to add big burst of color, or to color with the look of watercoloring. We're going to use this great big brush. By the way, when I say we have 3, you can see there's just different size tips. So you've got a lot of options. We're going to use this great big one for my card today. And I'm going to use a clear block, and that's what's going to be my ink palette. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to ink up that clear block. It's crazy, right? I'm inking up a clear block. But watch what we're going to do. We're going to take our brush. You're going to see the word push, and we're going to give that a push. Oh, before I go any further, I need to tell you what this is filled with. It's not water. It's actually rubbing alcohol, medical alcohol. I know people outside the United States might call it something different. But yeah, this is just alcohol, and you can see I'm just squeezing, and as soon as I get a drop out, I know I'm good. I'm going to start picking up that ink, and I just laid my brush on it back and forth. And now we're going to sweep it across our cardstock. Add some more. I feel like Bob Ross every time I do this because I am anything but a pretty watercolor artist. And what I like about using the, by the way, I'm still squeezing too. And what I love about using these water painters with the alcohol is it dries faster. And I also feel like it just goes on smoother. Okay, I'm done with this and I can just rinse that under some water in my sink and it's good to go. Or you can just clean it with your chamois, whichever, that's fine. So I'm gonna set that off to the side and I'm gonna set this off to the side so it can dry. And now let's go ahead and start to work on our pop-up. Now, when you cut that designer series paper, it needs to be landscape. So when you're looking at your paper, you want to make sure that you're looking at it this direction and not this direction. Okay, so you want to make sure when you're cutting the 12 inches, your pattern, if it has one, not all paper does, but this one for sure does. And you want to make sure it's going in the right direction. My friends, you can use your the scoring blade here on your paper trimmer, or you can use your Simply Scored board, whichever one you want. I'm actually going to flip this over just for the sake of the video. And let me show you what you're going to do to score. The first score line is at 3.5 inches. And my friends, please be sure that cutting blade is not in your way. We don't want to cut, we want to score. We're going to score at 3.5 inches and 4.5 inches. And then we're going to go all the way down to 6 inches. Okay? 3.5, 4.5, 6. I'm going to rotate this around and I'm just going to repeat that. 3.5, 4.5. Of course, the 6 has already been done. That's all you need to do. Once it's scored, we want to give all of our score lines a good crease with a bone folder. So we're going to start, we're going to score it or fold it in halves and just give it a crease there. And you're just going to find all of your crease lines and give all of them a fold. I'm accordion folding, but don't worry about any of that because once we go and work with this, it's all going to change. So there's everything's nice and folded. And what I want to do is this center section, let me see if I can show you. We're going to fold it back. So I'm going to bring this in and back. So can you see what we're going for? Let me bring it over so that you can see. So that 6-inch score line is going to be right there in the middle, and we're going to have that. That's what's going to create the inside. And see, there's the pop-up. Yeah, it's starting to make sense now, right? Okay, so here's where we're going to create our pocket. You can actually put your pocket on either side, but I'm going to put it here on the right side. And you're going to love this. It doesn't matter where you cut. It really doesn't. You just want to make sure you're leaving a little room here and a little room here, but nothing has to be perfect. So I'm just going to put my designer series paper in there. Like I said, there's no right or wrong. Slice, and there we go. See, we've just cut it off. That's going to create our pocket. If you've missed any of today's measurements, I've got you covered. Head over to simplysimplestamping.com or just look down in the YouTube description. There is a direct link that'll take you to today's post, and you can grab my free download that goes along with today's project. Great to print out, save to your computer, whatever you need. So when you need your gift card, you're going to be ready. So, okay, now I'm going to show you how this whole project goes together. That cardstock that I did that watercolor wash on is still a little damp. So we're going to go ahead and put the card together, and we'll make that the last thing that we do. So first things first, remember we have those 2 pieces of basic white. We're going to add those, adhere those to the inside of our card base. And the reason we're doing that, it's just going to kind of polish off our card a little bit. We really like the inside to look just as nice as the outside. All right, now we can add our designer series paper right here. And before I adhere it down, and I suggest this to you too, that you kind of test the waters. Let's make sure everything is good. So what I want you to look for is this score line that went right down the middle. Remember, that's our pop-up. It should be centered with the score line of your card. So if I kind of give that a fold over, does that help you see? You just want to make sure you're all lined up there. Now, this is another one. I say it a lot. I only want you to adhere one side at a time, and I don't want you to press anything down until you're sure you're happy with it. I'm putting adhesive only on this one side. Remember, this is a pop out. We don't want adhesive there, just here on this area. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to center it up here into my cardstock. By the way, you notice I'm only centering on these three sides because that's all that's going to show. I'm going to lightly lay that down because I want to make sure the other side, yeah, I need to move over just a little bit. And that is why I don't ever adhere anything down until I know I'm sure. Yep, it's one of my best tips that I can give any stamper is to just lay it down first. There we go. I'm happy with that. I wanted to make sure that side lined up. I can give that a press now. I'm good. Now this is our pocket. So if we put adhesive here, well, there's no way you're getting a gift card or cash in there. So what we want to do is we want to put adhesive here, here, and here. Okay, if you want a little bit up there at the top, you can. But let's put here. So down that side, down this side, definitely down at the bottom. That way our gift card doesn't fall out. Nothing here. And if you want a little dab up there at the top, you can. Now I'm going to lay that flat. Again, not pressing anything down. Make sure everything's going to fold nicely, and it is. We give that a press. There's my pop-up, and I can add my gift card right inside there. So that's how that pocket's going to work. It's just a really fun way to give a gift card or some cash. Let's decorate the front of our card. And I mentioned this before that we are going to adhere the Blackberry Bliss to the front of the card. And now we're going to do some stamping. Now, I got to tell you, my original piece still just a tiny bit damp. So luckily I made one in advance. If you need to hurry this along, you can take your heat tool and dry that even a little bit quicker if you need to. All right, so my ink pads for the front of my card are going to be in Blackberry Bliss and Evening Evergreen. I'm going to start with that Blackberry Bliss, and I'm going to need some grid paper for this one. So this stamp set is what we like to call a two-step stamp. So you can see we're going to stamp one dark and one just a little bit lighter. So we're going to start with the dark one, and that's this one right here. And I'm going to stamp two tulips. I'll do one here. Ooh, it's such a gorgeous color, isn't it? And then I'm going to stamp another one about right there. Now for the inside, I'm going to ink it up with the Blackberry Bliss, and I'm going to stamp off once. And now when I stamp inside, look at that. It gives us the perfect two-tone look. So we can stamp that right there. That's given us some nice texture to that wonderful tulip. Now, we don't want the inside of the tulip to be sad, so we're going to add some stamen right there on the inside. Now let's add some stems and leaves, and we're going to do that with that Evening Evergreen. Again, this is such a deep, rich, and gorgeous color. We'll stamp one stem there and another stem there. Now we can add some leaves. These are so gorgeous. I'll make sure I've got that inked up really nice, and you'll just touch the edge of that stem to get that pretty. Ooh, so rich, right? We just love it. You know what? I said this was a Mother's Day card, so I'm going to come back in with that Blackberry Bliss, and I'm going to stamp Happy Mother's Day up here at the top. All right, the front focal image is done. Let's do that pop out. So here on that last piece, you should have just one piece of the basic white, 2.5 by 4 inches. And I'm going to say, love you so much. Let's put everything together. So my friends, I am simply going to add adhesive to the back of my front image. By the way, that was just basic white cardstock. And it really, if you'll use the rubbing alcohol for your water painter, I'm telling you, you're going to be so happy with how it looks. If your cardstock is a little bit wonky, okay, you get maybe some bubbles here, you might want to add some extra adhesive to that watercolor area if that is a struggle. Mine, luckily today, laid nice and flat, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, now for the inside and that pop-up. So I'm going to take my Love You So Much and add that here to that Highland Heather. And then this is going to do a nice little pop on the side. So it's going to sit, let me lay that flat. It's going to need to sit right on that fold, okay? You can't go over, you can't go this way. It needs to sit right there on that fold, and you see how it's gonna pop. But that also means, my friends, that we can only put adhesive right on this side, not on this side. So I'm going to just put my adhesive here and here. And I hope that you can see them just right there. I'm going to take my sentiment, and you might even find it easier to write on this before you adhere it. That's fine, but you can see it also lays flat for you to do that. There's our pop. Can you see how that just pops up? And of course, we can add our gift card. How about another, just one more little Happy Mother's Day? Yep, we'll just stamp that right there. I think that looks really nice. Now, no Mother's Day card would be complete without a little bling. So let's bring in that ribbon. And to adhere that, I'm going to press my bow onto a mini glue dot. You can see if you'll just press the center of your bow right onto a mini glue dot, and that can sit right here at the base of our tulips. How about a little bling? Every mama loves some bling, right? So these are the pastel pearls, and you can use whichever color. I'm going to go ahead and go with the Highland Heather ones here. And let's see, where should my last one go? Maybe about right there. So that looks really nice. Let me show you on this one, though. I did the darker pastel pearls. So whichever one makes you happy, but it's a really fantastic card. Now, I promised you another version, so let me show you the other card I created. This one I made for my daughter because it is finals week, and I wanted to send her a card to get through finals week. And I love this from In the Moment because this looks just like her, and it looks like our dog Roxy. And this, nothing says my daughter Jenny more than the girl with the messy bun and just wearing her comfy pants and fluffy socks. So, but did you notice I did the watercolor wash instead of coloring in? Now, this is a gorgeous stamp set colored in, but I thought the watercolor wash made it super fast and easy. Now, I have the word relax here, and that's from this stamp from In the Moment. And so I just inked up the word relax and stamped that there. Let me show you the inside. Oh, first I got to tell you about this paper. I guess I was just in a purpley mood today with my cards, but I loved this paper from Sweet Talk. But here's the cool part. It was Valentine paper. Well, Valentine's Day is over. The hearts are still, I mean, that's like an all year round thing, but it was great to find a brand new use for my Valentine paper so I can use that up. So that's what I used there. Gorgeous Grape and Highland Heather. Now for the inside, oh my goodness, what did I do? I did 2 pop outs. So I just made them smaller because look at that. Those sentiments just happen to fit perfect inside those little squares. And so you're always so good to others. Be good to yourself too. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is relax. Is there anything more perfect for finals week? You're in my thoughts, so I can write my message to Jenny right there. Tucked in a little cash, so maybe she can do some Uber Eats, which I know she's going to need right now. And so that is the other card I created. And you notice I did my pocket on the opposite side as I did this one. Yeah, so this one I'm writing my message here, but on this card, no, I needed to write my message here, so I just moved my pocket over. So easy. Just cut the opposite side. It's a very simple card. And talk about a fun one. I hope that you guys like that and that you're going to give this fantastic gift card money holder a try. Thank you everyone so much for joining me today. If you love the video, I would love a thumbs up on YouTube. And I'd love to have you as a subscriber. So click that great big red subscribe button and be notified whenever I'm back with another video. Thank you again, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.